Today is a good day for chest, triceps, and hamstrings. Man, we woke up today and it has been pretty sunny. Perfect weather. It's also pretty windy, so you get the perfect combination. So, hopefully, it is not super hot inside of the gym, or at least on the second floor. Hopefully, it's a little bit more cool than usual, because when it gets hot up there, it gets pretty hot. Next thing you know, I'm like hella sweating. Hopefully we get to do some dumbbell work. I mean, most likely we will do some dumbbell work, but the thing is, what bench will we get? Because a lot of the times, not a lot of the times, but there's been some times where we would have to farmers walk our weights to our first set, and so it would be pretty difficult, to be honest, just because you're already kind of almost pre-exhausting right before your set. You're a little bit out of breath, and sometimes you have to maneuver around certain people because they're also doing their work. I feel like just because our gym is a little bit on the smaller side, it's a little bit harder to maneuver around the benches where the dumbbell racks are, especially the heavy ones. We have two dumbbell stacks at our gym. We have one in a smaller section of it on the other side where you typically do arms. Our gym has kind of has a bit of a breakdown where it tells you what kind of machines are going to be in that general area, either like leg day, I mean for leg day, for biceps, etc. And so that's pretty cool. So let's say someone's a little bit new and they want to get a workout in, but they're like, you know what? I don't even know what to do. But hey, maybe I want to work on legs. They'll go to the leg section. They can just do whatever machines around there, even if they're a little bit new. So I feel like every gym should actually have that instead of just kind of having the machines there. I just haven't been to a lot of gyms for me to kind of speculate that a lot of them don't already have it. I feel like I gotta visit a little bit more to see if that's a little bit more universal, or if it's something that's a little bit more tailored to our specific gym. Who knows? But hopefully in the near future we get to visit a few more gyms. That way we can kind of get a better feel of different machines. It's always nice to kind of like practice and see what's out there. Not limit yourself to just one movement or whatever. It's always nice to try new things. Not saying that you can't build a good physique on just a standard setup, but it's always nice to use some state of the art stuff. Something that's been kind of reworked to feel a little bit better for your joints and everything. I think that's a plus for sure when it comes to some of these fancier machines. They just work way better with our anatomy, and I feel like you're less prone to getting hurt. But then again, I feel like when it comes to weight training, you can get hurt for anything, because you're putting yourself through or your body through stress and through strain. So you always want to just be careful, listen to your body a little bit, just make sure that you're good. So we're most likely gonna stick to 7 to 8 sets, most likely for today. That's typically the sweet spot for us. I'm thinking if our strength goes down super low and I feel super fatigued from just our chest, I think we'll leave it at 7. But if we feel like we can get a little bit more work in, maybe we'll throw in an eighth, an extra little set. Worst case scenario, we don't get to the cable machine, then maybe we'll just move over to some type of isolation press for our upper chest, and then hopefully we get access to a cable machine though, so that way we can kind of just stick there for everything up until we do hamstrings. But we'll have to see what we have available. We are going a little bit on the earlier side, so I'm hoping that we do get access to a little bit more stuff, since it's going to be just a tiny bit less full. So pretty excited about that. Pretty excited about going a little bit earlier and beat that after work crowd. But if not, we're gonna do a pec deck. I wanted to try out last time if we didn't get the cable machine, but we did. I wanted to put a little bit of that seat extender that I've been using for the leg extensions, just to give me a little bit more of a stretch with that specific pec deck machine that we have. I think that would be pretty nice. I think I'm gonna go a little bit lower in weight just to make sure. So I'll start off maybe with a few feeler, maybe like one feeler rep, or feeler, maybe like a feeler set. I'll do a feeler set of a little bit different weight just to kind of see how it feels, and just to make sure I don't feel any pain or anything before I throw in some weight on there. I want to make sure I'm not gonna get hurt. Imagine tearing a pec or something. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. Always crossing our fingers that we are always good to go. But the beta alanine is already kicking in. I can already feel a little bit of that tingly sensation. So it's already it's hitting us faster than usual. It usually hits us a little bit more later into the drive, but sometimes I have those days where I feel like my body just digests the pre-workout so much faster. But it seems like we don't have too much traffic, thankfully, going to the other side of the city, which is nice. We just got to get past the tunnel, bro. I don't understand what's up with people and like how they drive. They're crazy. Some people, I don't know how they get their, I don't know how they get their driver's license. They be putting people at risk. Anyways, let's go back to what we're saying. The beta alanine is already kicking in. I can already feel the tingling sensation. Today we forgot the Himalayan salt because I forgot to add a little bit more into our salt shaker. So we have this big bag that we bought from Marshall's. Dude, it was pretty cheap for like a big old bag. I think we got it for like $5.99. It was pretty good. And so we just kind of been refilling the little bottle each time we run out. And I forgot to refill it, so we didn't have any Himalayan salt. Just because I kind of wanted to get out of the apartment already and start heading to the gym. And then hopefully if we get the cable machine, we'll most likely do some type of push down, either some type of single arm or some type of or we'll do it two at the same time. I've really been trying to focus on a little bit more on some single arm work just to make sure that my left arm is catching up as much as possible to my right. But sometimes it's a little bit sometimes I'd be forgetting I just start with my right. But we're for sure going to be doing some overhead work. So we're going to do, I'm thinking either the single push downs or the double hand push downs, and then some type of crossbody work. I'm thinking, yeah, I'm thinking 7 sets in general. And then I think for overhead stuff, we're going to just do maybe 3 sets of that for sure. So we'll see. We'll see how that feels. And then for hamstrings, I think we're gonna keep it pretty simple. I don't think I'm going to be recording though my seated curls, but I might maybe just do the first set, and then I'll record the RDLs because we're for sure gonna be doing RDLs today. We'll see if we do if we go from 90s. We did 90s last time, but I just want to be careful with RDLs just because I feel with those, even though I'm being super careful, man, you just never know. I feel like anything can happen. I'm just trying to be careful. This one time, Angel and I were trying the 100s, and I've done 100s before, but that time I don't know why I felt kind of weird. But after the first set, my hamstrings were cooked. I couldn't even like bend over without any weight, so I knew that was already not a good sign. So I was like, okay, I'm not doing a second set, and we kind of just stopped it there. So sometimes it's important to listen to your body, mostly when it comes to certain movements like RDLs. Man, I do not want to play around and then and then rip something and then be out for a minute. So just be careful. I think we're gonna take the new route that we typically take now because the other spot has been the street was closed for like a good minute now. It was it was closed, so we just kind of wanted to avoid that what's it called? All that traffic. So I decided I was like, you know what, let's just take the other route because it seems like there's less traffic going that way. So I was like, okay, we'll just start going this way. I think it'll be a little bit easier. So I'm thinking that's what we're gonna just start doing from now on. It's just taking this side. But we also haven't checked the other side just to see if it also got fixed. That street, they've been doing some construction for the longest time. I swear the city here where I live, they love to do construction, but they be postponing these projects for the longest time. But they should love to give out tickets. I don't know. I'm just kidding. Okay, but let's switch over now to the first set. Let's see what we end up doing. Maybe we might even do some Smith machine. Sometimes it ends up changing when we end up getting there. Next thing you know, it's hella busy. But let's see what we get. Let's go ahead and do our first set. We already did two warm-up sets. We started off with 45 for I think around 5 to 6, and then moved up to 60 for maybe like one, just to get a pretty really good stretch, just to see how it feels. Because sometimes if I load it up too heavy right away, sometimes I'll get a little bit of aches either on my shoulder or something like that. So I just want to make sure I'm pretty warmed up. But because it's a little bit warmer now, it's pretty nice outside. So it means that the second floor is not too cold. So our warm up isn't going to take that long, which is nice. But our first working set is going to be 80. We're going to try to get at least a solid five. I'm hoping five. Man, the highest we've gone, I think, was like 85, and that was like hella hard. And that was super when we were deep into the bulk a while back. So we're just gonna try to slowly get up back up there with less body weight, hopefully. Hopefully. But we're gonna use the wraps here for our first set. And then I'm thinking for second and third, we'll probably want to use these. All right, let's put a good song first. I think that's so fun. Where is it? Okay. All right. Okay, let's do it. Okay. That was good.
That was good. Let's let's take a quick pause and let's hit it for maybe let's do a pause. Let's hit it for two more. After this, I'm gonna take maybe like a 10-15 second break because man, this thing be having me out of breath like crazy. Mostly because in some of those, I feel like sometimes in some of those reps, I forget to breathe properly and I'm like holding in my breath, trying to like push it through like hella hard. And so it's hella hard sometimes. And when I get out of the set, I'm like huffing and puffing. But thankfully, now that we're a little bit leaner, we don't have that much of a problem. I think we had the biggest problem when we were bulking and around the 175 mark. I think that's when my body was for sure working a little bit more than usual. Just because I felt like I was getting tired faster. My cardio wasn't that good, and I feel like now I can last way longer with cardio, which is so much nicer. All right, let's try to hit these for hopefully two more. Okay, that was good. So nice. We ended up getting four straight, and then we ended up pausing for like maybe like 20 to 25 seconds, maybe 30 seconds, and then we tried it for maybe two more. And we only got one, so I think we just need a little bit more practice. See how it goes next week. Hopefully, we can get it. Let's do this next one. Like I mentioned, we're gonna go down to 75, and I don't think we're gonna use the wraps anymore. So I think we can put these away. But what we are gonna do is we're gonna use the wrist wraps just to give us a little bit a little bit more stable on the wrist, but also avoid some of that pain that I sometimes get. And every time I incorporate these, the next day, I don't uh, I don't really have to worry about my wrist hurting or anything. It feels pretty good because sometimes what would happen is that let's say the day before I did forearm work and everything, and then I come into chest day and my wrist is like beat. I feel like it's more likely to get hurt. So I just want to make sure I'm being careful. All right, let's grab that. Keep going. Let's let's pass it there, and hopefully hit it for three more after that. Man, that that felt hella heavy. Oh man, but it feels pretty good. And thankfully, the gym is not too packed right now, so we get to we get all of the options. Almost every machine is open, so hopefully the cables aren't taking because those are probably the most popular. All right, I'm gonna take maybe 10 more seconds, and I'm gonna hit it for maybe, I'm thinking 2 to 3 more. Let's see how it goes. And put this back. Okay. Uh, that was pretty good. For this last one, I think we're gonna have to jog on to 70 because man, we want to get at least a solid 6 to 8 on this next one. Okay, we gotta get 7. Okay, what was that? That was tough. All right, this is gonna be a quick one. On this next one, I'm going to just end it off, I think, with 2 more or maybe 3 more. We'll see how many we can get on this pause set. Okay, that was good. Let's uh, let's go grab a cable machine and let's go do some type of rest. Hopefully we get access to it because man, it's getting pretty packed at the gym right now, which kind of sucks. All right, so it looks like the typical leg extensions that are in front of us are broken, or I'm not sure what's going on, but I think they might change the leg extension here because it's not here no more. So we might get a new leg extension. Hopefully, we get a really good one that gives us a really good stretch. I'm hoping because the other one that they have is pretty good. So Hopefully, maybe they switch up to that one because it gives you a pretty good range. So for this one, we're gonna do this one for I think the entire time. So we're gonna stay here until we do triceps. So we're probably gonna have someone actually help us out to pull this over because it's a little bit harder to pull by myself. And if I don't ask someone, then I have to re-rack it if I'm kind of make a mistake pulling it over because it sometimes moves. So let's see what we can ask to do this one. Oh, very nice. Oh. All right, we're gonna have to figure it out ourselves probably. I was gonna ask someone, but I don't think we have that choice right now. You know what? Okay, that was actually awesome, man. That was one of the better sets that we've had with this machine or with this specific workout. So I think we're gonna stick to the same weight on this second one because that felt pretty good, and we got a solid. I think it was either 7 or 8. I have to look back. We're just gonna try to replicate on this next one. All right, let's do our second one. I'm gonna need to ask someone for a little bit of help, just because. Or nah, let's just do it. Let's just do it. Let's hope for the best. Yes. Let me move this real quick. So I was right. They are bringing a new leg extension, which is nice. Yeah, let me. Awesome. Okay. So it got pretty hectic over there. We were doing our regular presses, but it looks like they're getting new leg presses here at the not leg presses, sorry, leg extensions. So I'm pretty excited about that. We're gonna be trying that out on when do we do legs again? I think it's Thursday. Thursday. So on Thursday we're gonna be trying it out. Hopefully it feel pretty good. It looks like one of the new ones is a hammer strength machine. So those are typically pretty good machines. I'm pretty excited. I am pretty excited. But anyways, let's go ahead and finish this up because we ended up giving them a little bit more room over there. What we're gonna do is actually just to give us a little bit more stretch, more range of motion. I'm gonna end up using this behind my back just so I can get a bigger stretch when I'm going back. But we're gonna see how it feels. Hopefully it's not too crazy. Yeah, so I typically what I do is I'll just put it behind here. I'll grab it here from both sides. Look, I already have a bigger stretch. Fire. One more. One more, and then we're gonna move over to some tricep work. I think we're gonna try out that new machine that we liked last time, where you kind of you're seated and you kind of just go like this. I got a pretty good stretch with that, and I think we can do that one for our first two sets. And I'm doing some push downs afterwards. Man, I'm already gassed. Bye. We have some spaghetti waiting for us at home that I'm pretty excited to eat. So I can't wait to get home and snack on some things too. Oh man, I actually kind of really like this setup for the extra little extension that we tried for the first time today. We uh we always thought about doing it. I'm always like, maybe I can try it, and I always got lazy or I just didn't want to try it out. But this time around, I'm glad I did because I think I'm gonna start incorporating honestly whenever I don't get access to any of the table machines. It's gonna do just as well. If it's gonna do the same amount of damage, so I'm pretty excited to start incorporating it. Man, this gym honestly is gonna have everything that you need to build a crazy physique. To be honest, they've been really upgrading things. SF Finish is really doing their thing. Shout out to them. Okay. You know what song's been stuck in my head? The one it's been kind of flooding my feed. It's been the one that says I love, I love, I love, I love. And so I think I've been singing it to the cats all day today and yesterday because it's just been stuck in my head after it started flooding my feed. It's like the most hilarious meme. But I was looking at the comments and some people were mentioning that the ending of it is not so positive. So kind of excited to look more into that to see what happens after that little scene where that little I guess you would call it kind of like a little robot is singing. All right. Anyways, let's say it for two more. I'm not gonna use a pad for this one just because I don't want to set up. Okay, that was good. Let's go over and do some tricep work now. Okay, let's go ahead. Put my that's better. Okay, let's go ahead and do our first tricep exercise. Like I mentioned, this machine here is actually pretty nice. This one's pretty good. We've It's kind of like our second time trying it out, but last time we kind of messed around with it for the first time, it felt pretty good. That's why we started incorporating it. So we're gonna sit here for two, and then we're gonna go get a cable and do some push downs. We'll see how that goes. The goal here really is to get a good stretch. Oh, we got four, and then we assisted ourselves on the fifth. Let's listen for this one. All right, let's drop settings. I think both of the same time. Get a good squeeze. Nice. Okay. Let's do one more. Man, this one really getting my triceps pump, which is nice. It's a pretty good isolation machine. Honestly, if you have these, one of these at your gym, I would give it a try. I think you'll like it. We had this one for the longest time. I never decided to do it just because I'm pretty stubborn sometimes when it comes to the specific exercise that I like to do. Sometimes it's a little bit harder for me to venture out a little bit into other machines. And then when I try them out, next thing you know, I'm like, damn, this actually felt pretty good. So never be afraid to try out a new machine, even if you don't know how to use it. You can always get a pretty good practice, and you can always use it to your advantage. I think that's the biggest thing. But let's go ahead and do the second set. So then we can move over to some push downs. Get on face and make sure it's focused on us. Perfect. Let's start with our left. Okay, we got six. We get six on this side. All right, let's drop six this bad boy. So maybe two to three. Get a good stretch. That was good. Let's move on to the next one. All right, so it seems like they're upgrading this gym quite a bit over the past few months, man. They've already got a bunch of new leg equipment, which is awesome. A bunch of back equipment. Honestly, it started to turn out one of the best gyms right here in the area, to be honest, because it has everything. The hack squat is probably one of the biggest things that this one has. That's the best thing about it. But now they're incorporating some two new leg extensions, which is pretty nice. So we're gonna be trying those out on Thursday, hopefully. And yeah, sadly, we won't be able to try them out next Monday because that's when we have our tattoo this Saturday, and we're gonna be out for the first leg day. But at least we'll be able to do our second leg day, which is not too bad. Which is not too bad. We're also getting a few new attachments, even though this one's a little bit more on the heavier side. So as you can notice, it kind of already pulls it with you. So you kind of have to take that into account when you're doing these push downs. But it's a new one, and I couldn't find the other one, so we're gonna just try this one out. I'm thinking we're gonna to maybe 60, just to take into account this extra weight for the bar. We already did a little bit of a primer too with the last two sets that we did, so our triceps are going to be just a tiny bit more weaker, but we're going to still try hella hard. Let's see how it goes. Okay, that was pretty good, honestly. And this bar is pretty nice. I like it. I like the grip. I feel like I don't slip, and I feel like the angle is pretty good on my triceps. So I think we're gonna keep using this one. Damn, that 60 felt hella heavy. So I think on the next one we'll do 55, and hopefully we can get a solid 7 to 8. We'll see. Let's do a second set. This is gonna be our final set for this specific exercise, and then we're gonna move over to some overhead work. Let's see how that goes. No. Let's do some overhead work now. Yeah. Let's go ahead and do this next exercise. I think we're gonna do this one for maybe 2 sets. And I feel like we need a third one. We'll throw that. Let's try that one. Okay. Either our triceps are super cooked, or this bar makes this movement hella heavy. But this thing felt heavy. I think what we're gonna do is move down just a tiny bit, just so we can control it, because that was hella hard. Check this out. I don't think we need to add a third one. I think our triceps are already pretty cooked after this one. So we're gonna do 45 for hopefully around 7 to 9 reps. Let's see how that goes. I think after this too, I'm gonna do some shoulder mobility work downstairs after I'm done with it, just cause just to help my shoulder a little bit. Sometimes it'd be achy, and that's not good. Man, I feel like with working out, it's always something, huh? If it's not your knee, it's your elbow. If it's not your elbow, it's your shoulder. If it's not your shoulder, your head hurts during the workout, man. It's always something. Out of those. Okay, that was pretty good. I'm gonna do a quick drop there. Just go ahead, lower the weight a little bit. Okay, we're done. Let's go do some hamstring work. But I don't think I'm gonna record it. I think I'm just gonna record my RDLs at the end. So that's what you. Okay, let's go ahead and do our last exercise for today, and then we're gonna go do the pump shake downstairs or in the bathroom if no one's over there. And then we're gonna do this one for, I'm thinking, 2 sets. Should be pretty good because we did 3 sets of the seated curls and do 2 sets of these. If this 90 for the first, it doesn't feel too crazy, we'll stick to that. If I feel like I'm about to rip my shit, then maybe I'll move down to 85 or 80. We'll see how it feels. But surprisingly, I still have some energy, which is nice. Let's try to go with this. We usually take off our shoes, but I'm too lazy to take them off today. Not yet. Let's do one more just like that. That's pretty good. I don't think we need to. I don't think we need to move down. I think 90 is pretty good. I think for the next one, I either do 6 or 7 reps. We'll see. Okay. Let's go ahead and let's go post down. Okay. Let's see what kind of damage we did today. Man, the light's a little bit further away, so I'm gonna sit right here. I think it's pretty good. Okay, let's go home. We still gotta do maybe like 10, 15 minutes of cardio, but at least we have some spaghetti waiting for us. So that's why we're gonna be eating. Pretty excited for that. Let's go home. I'll see you guys tomorrow for some shoulders and some back, man. This thing got me tired already. Even the posting itself sometimes feels like it's like it's cardio in itself, to be honest, because it just takes my breath away, to be honest, and it's my got me breathing hella hard. And as you can see, I'm sweating like crazy, and I've just been posing, so that's just kind of the unfortunate part. So I got to keep practicing every day so that I can last better with my posing, and I can just condition myself a little bit better. Because if, let's say, for example, I wasn't practicing my posing that often, then every time I try to do it, then what would happen is I'll be out of breath. I won't be able to hold like my most muscular, my front double bicep, front lat spread, and things like that. Just because I'm not so used to holding my breath for so long. So that's why I'm usually practicing every day. If it's not at if it's not here, then it's usually at home, where I'm usually just practicing. It's in the mirror. I feel like I've gotten way better though, just from checking the videos from earlier, from when I first started making videos. I feel like my posting just got way better. I feel like I can hold it for way longer. Before I couldn't even do a lat spread. To be honest, Angel was teaching me for like I think it's like a solid 2 months. For a solid 2 months, he was teaching me, and then I just kept practicing it every day, and until I got it one day. He was like, "Dude, just try it like this," and I tried grabbing it a little bit lower because I think my lats are a little bit on the lower section instead of up here. Because some people have like higher lats, so they'll grab it here, but for me, I have to grab it way lower to kind of push them out. And I wasn't doing that. I think I was grabbing it too high, and so I wasn't able to push out my lats. Until Angel was like, "Let me see where your lats end," and then he showed me. He's like, "Okay, you got to touch it a little bit lower," and then after that, I got the posting down. Honestly, my last spread has gotten so much better, and it looks pretty crazy from like the front and from the back. So I'm pretty excited to just see the progress we make as we get better with our back exercises. Anyways, enough talking. Let's go do some cardio. I'll see you guys tomorrow.